All right, how's it going, everybody? I'm here to bring you my NXT TakeOver Chicago predictions. Of course, NXT TakeOver Chicago is live this Saturday on the WWE Network, and for the most part, I'm excited for this show. I'm just really surprised that NXT is doing another TakeOver special a month after NXT TakeOver Orlando. I thought they would have done this TakeOver special next month in June, because NXT likes to give themselves a good amount of time before takeover specials. But with WWE Backlash this Sunday night and the fact that it's in Chicago, I guess NXT wanted to do something big in Chicago, which I'm cool with. I'm excited because that Chicago crowd is going to be lit all weekend long. And like I said, guys, I'm very excited for the show. I think it's going to be another good, an entertaining NXT Takeover special. So let's get right down to the predictions. There's 5 matches announced for this card. Let's start off with a match that was just announced last night on NXT TV. Roderick Strong versus Eric Young. I could see either guy winning this match. I want to lean more towards Roderick Strong because they have been doing the whole Who is Roderick Strong mini-series, chronicling his rise. His early life, his rise in professional wrestling, how he got to WWE and NXT. And I've said it that I think Roddy is a future NXT champion if they push and build him right for the remainder of the year. So that's why I think he's gonna win this match. But then again, I could see Eric Young winning because Eric Young's been doing great things, of course, with Sanity. And I eventually see Sanity being the dominant faction in NXT. I see him taking all the championships, NXT Championship, NXT Tag Team Championships, and NXT Women's Championship. But for this match, I mean, I don't think a second loss is going to hurt Eric Young because he's still – see, that's the thing. I don't want to see Eric Young lose, but I don't want to see Roderick Strong lose. I want to see both of them continue to be pushed and built properly. And, NXT handles their talent well. But in this business, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And in situations like this, there's got to be a winner and a loser. So I'll go with Roderick Strong to win. I could see No Way Jose returning to help try to even the odds because, remember, there's no Ty Dillinger anymore. He's on the main roster. Ruby Riot has her own issues with Nikki Cross. I could see Ruby getting involved if Nikki gets involved. But I'm going to go with Roderick Strong to win. Next, we have the first of 4 championship matches. This one will be for the United Kingdom Championship. Champion Tyler Bate defending against the challenger, the self-proclaimed bruiserweight Pete Dunne. This should be a great match. I really enjoyed their match in the finals of the United Kingdom Championship tournament. I thought it was great. I thought there was great storytelling in it. And Tyler Bate he won me over that whole tournament. Both guys won me over in that tournament. But Tyler Bate really impressed me with what he did. The guy is he's fun, he's entertaining, he's a great performer. Pete Dunne is just, a no-nonsense, smash mouth style wrestler. He's called the Bruiserweight for a reason. I think Tyler Bate's done a great job as, United Kingdom champion, but I think this is Pete Dunne's time. Excuse me. I think Pete Dunne is going to take the championship. I could see him having a rubber match at like NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, or if there happens to be one more NXT TakeOver special before Brooklyn. But I think Pete Dunne's going to take the championship. I think, I just love his smash mouth style, his whole bruiserweight style. He doesn't care. He only cares for himself. I like Pete Dunne. I feel like his bruiserweight gimmick is something new, something fresh. So I'm going to go with Pete Dunne to become the new United Kingdom champion. This should be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. This could steal the show, but the next match I'm going to talk about, I think that's going to be the match of the night. But United Kingdom Championship match, I'm picking Pete Dunne to walk out the new United Kingdom champion. Next, we have the match that I'm most looking forward to because, like I was just saying, I feel like this could ultimately be the match of the night, if not the United Kingdom Championship match. And that is the ladder match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Authors of Pain defending against #DIY. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in this match. The only thing that concerns me is that I think this is finally going to be the time where Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa split. I feel like this is going to be the night where Tommaso Ciampa finally turns on Johnny Gargano. Because I'm predicting right now, I don't see Authors of Pain losing. Because I was thinking about it this way. If hashtag DIY win, if they win a ladder match, but then they drop the belts back to the Authors of Pain in like a singles match, what was the whole point? Are you saying that the Authors of Pain are only beatable in matches like in a gimmick match like the ladder match? Like, nah, I couldn't see that working. And I think like you put the Authors of Pain in a ladder match where ladders are legal, they're gonna kick the crap out of people. The triple threat elimination match at NXT TakeOver Orlando further solidified these guys as just awesome monsters, unstoppable. This ladder match, I think, is going to take that to new levels just because of the level of violence they're going to try and dish out against hashtag DIY. With that said, I'm going with Authors of Pain to retain. They're just a great tag team. I mean, could I see hashtag DIY? Could I see them winning the titles back? Possibly. But the way I'm seeing it, I think it's going to be Heavy Machinery who gets the shot at Authors of Pain at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And I don't know when TM61 is going to return because I believe it was Shane Thorne. He's still recovering from injury. So, yeah, my prediction is Authors of Pain will retain the tag team championships. And then we're going to see that inevitable split between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. We're gonna see Ciampa turn on Gargano, and then we're gonna finally get a match between them. Which that's one of the matches that we need to see within the next year. Within the next year of this 2017-2018 WWE season, WWE NXT season, we need to see Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. They've been building toward it for a while now, and I think this is where it finally happens, the split. And then we get a showdown between them at Brooklyn. And just imagine what that showdown is going to be like. So I predict Authors of Pain will retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I predict that Johnny Gargano will be betrayed by Tommaso Ciampa. I predict that Ciampa's going to finally snap. He's going to turn on Gargano. And we set the stage for their match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Next, we have the NXT Women's Championship Triple Threat match. Asuka defending against Nikki, Ruby Riot and Nikki Cross. I'm sure this is going to be a good, fun match, but the only reason they're doing this is because it's going to keep the two big main women's feuds, keep them going. Asuka versus Ember Moon and Nikki Cross versus Ruby Riot. When I heard about this match, I personally wanted to see Ruby Riot and Nikki Cross in a Chicago street fight. I thought that would have been freaking awesome because, they just going at it all over the place lately. Their little skirmishes throughout the arena on NXT TV. But I think that's going to end up, they're saving that for NXT Brooklyn, which is totally fine with me because it's a bigger stage for NXT. And, Brooklyn's going to be another lit crowd. And that's a great way to culminate their feud or bring it all full circle. You know what I'm saying? So this is really easy to predict. Asuka's going to retain the NXT Women's Championship because, like I said, I only see. Well, let me put it to you like this. I think I said this in my NXT TakeOver Orlando predictions. If Ember Moon doesn't beat Asuka at NXT, if she doesn't beat Asuka to win the NXT Women's Championship, then I think Asuka goes up to the main roster undefeated in NXT. That's something I was thinking about, and it could happen. But I think Ember Moon will be the one to dethrone Asuka later this summer because that's going to be redemption and retribution for Ember Moon because of what happened when Asuka threw the ropes and Ember Moon crashed into the barricade. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that injury is legit or if they did it that way just to write Ember Moon off. But when Ember Moon returns, she's going to have enough incentive to want to go after Asuka, dethrone her, and get her retribution. So I'm picking Asuka to win. I don't see her losing the title to Ruby Riott or Nikki Cross. Although I had this one kind of like wild card scenario where Ember Moon would return and go after Asuka, and then Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott would pin one another, and then Asuka would lose the title without ever getting pinned. But then, we need that extra something to keep Ember and Asuka's feud going. So yeah, I'm predicting Asuka to retain, and then she'll have that rematch with Ember Moon. which I would love for it to be something like 2 out of 3 falls or falls count anywhere, like something with a no disqualification stipulation. But yeah, as far as my prediction, I predict Asuka to retain. Like I said, this is the easiest match to predict on this card. Just because, like, Ruby Riot's not going to win. Nikki Crossing's going to win. Ember Moon's going to come back soon. And really, there's nobody else on the NXT Women's roster that's going to take the title from Asuka other than Ember Moon. And finally, guys, we get to the main event for the NXT Championship. The champion, the glorious Bobby Roode, defending against the challenger, Hideo Itami. I've been trying to I've had, like, this is not kind of easy. This hasn't been easy for me to determine, to predict who I think is going to win. Because I love Bobby Roode as NXT champion. He's held the championship for about 4 months now. But Hideo Itami has had quite a story in NXT. And, you know, it's unfortunate that injuries have derailed his momentum. I mean, you know, when he debuted, and I like what they did last night on NXT TV. They showed highlights from Hideo Itami's career, chronicling what kind of impact he's left in NXT since he debuted at NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way in 2014. You know, he debuted, he feuded with the Ascension, he teamed with Balor, they beat the Ascension, he beat Tyler Breeze a couple times, including that famous NXT house show in San Jose during WrestleMania 31 weekend. And then he got injured. He didn't come back until the summer of last year, and then he got injured again. So it sucks that Hideo Itami has been plagued with injuries like that. And at one point I was like, you know what, just don't. I was like, just send them to NXT, just send them to Raw at this point, or SmackDown. You know, I don't know if it's worth trying to send him after the NXT Championship. And I love Hideo Itami. You know, I think he's a great performer. And it's, like I said, it's been very unfortunate that he's been plagued with injuries that have derailed his momentum, because I've said this before, and we all know that he was the one that was supposed to dethrone Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship in Japan, and it didn't happen because he got injured. Then he came back last summer. He was doing well. He was going to team with Kota Ibushi in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and then he got injured again, and that got delayed and derailed. So I think this is like a do-or-die situation for Hideo Itami. After everything he's been through, can he finally rise to the occasion and win the NXT Championship? I'd love to see it happen. Thing is, I love Bobby Roode as champion, and I don't know if they're going to keep him as champion until Brooklyn, or if they'll drop the title, if they'll have him drop the title to Hideo Itami here. You know, I don't want to say I see Roode winning by DQ or countout, or I don't want to say I see Hideo winning by a DQ or a countout, because NXT rarely does those kinds of countout DQ victories in championship matches. And I mean, do they really want to end a takeover special in Chicago with a countout victory? So I think because of what Hideo Itami's been through, and because they're going to be in Chicago, which is going to be a lit crowd, you know it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear CM Punk chants. I think because of everything at stake, where it's going to be held, I think they're going to give the title to Hideo Itami. Even if Hideo Itami holds the championship for like 2-3 months, drops it at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, at least he finally won the NXT Championship, because he was deserving of the NXT Championship. The only problem was he got plagued with injuries. Injuries derailed his momentum, and now he's back, and this may be his only chance, so to speak, at becoming NXT champion. So, you know what? I'm just going to go and say it, because, I mean, I could see Bobby Roode retaining. That is definitely a possibility, but I'm going to just go ahead and say it, because I'd love to see it happen, especially after everything Hideo's been through. I think, you know, if he and Roode have a great match with a compelling finish, it's going to just be, it's going to make it all more special. So I'm going to predict, it's going to be a big prediction. It's going to be a little bit of a long shot, but I'm going to go with it. I predict Hideo Itami will win the NXT Championship. And you know, one thing he can do, he can win it for his friend, his fellow countryman, Shinsuke Nakamura. He can win it for his family. You know, Hideo has a lot on the line. Even though this match hasn't had a lot of build, I think, you know, it can be a great match, and it can have a hell of a finish if Hideo hits that GTS, knocks out Bobby Roode, and wins the NXT Championship. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with the bold prediction, and I'm going to say Hideo Itami becomes the NXT Champion. I want to see it happen. Like I said, I could definitely see Bobby Roode retaining. But I think this is Hideo's time. I think he's got to win it at this point. Because what do you do? A rematch between them if he loses? And then don't forget, you got Drew McIntyre, Eric Young, Roderick Strong. All those guys are going to want a contention at the championship. So I'm going to go with it. Hideo Itami to win the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Get a rematch between him and Roode. And then go on and do things with McIntyre, Eric Young, and Roderick Strong. I especially think a Hideo Itami, Roderick Strong feud for the NXT Championship would be great, especially after Roddy came up short in the number one contenders match. So I'm going to go with it because I like Hideo Itami. I think he's great. He deserves to be the NXT champion. So I'm going to go for it. My prediction, Hideo Itami to win the NXT Championship. So that'll do it, guys, for my NXT TakeOver Chicago predictions. To recap, my predictions are Roderick Strong, Pete Dunne, Authors of Pain, Asuka, and Hideo Itami. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I felt like I was forgetting a match or two, but no, it was only 5 matches, 4 championship matches. So yeah, my predictions, Roderick Strong, Pete Dunne to become new United Kingdom champion, Authors of Pain to retain the tag team championships, and ultimately cause the split of #DIY, which I don't want to see because I love the team, but this is inevitable. Asuka to retain the NXT Women's Championship, and Hideo Itami to win the NXT Championship. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching and listening. Leave your comments down below. Give me your predictions. Tell me what you think. Who you think will walk out victorious at NXT TakeOver Chicago? What match are you most looking forward to? Which match do you think could be sleeper hit? And I will see y'all later. Thanks as always for watching my videos, and catch you guys later.